Hey y'all, I'm back with another cooking video. But first, I was very proud of myself today when I went to the grocery store. I ended up getting 5 packs of meat, a head of cabbage, and some carrots for $25. It was beef, whole beef, ground beef, and pork. I really don't eat a lot of pork, but when I'm tight on the funds, that's what I use, especially for what I'm making today, which is dumplings. Usually, I ground my own pork in my food processor, but I found it was like a pound and some change of already ground pork. So for $2.96. So I went ahead and just grabbed that. But yeah, so I'm gonna use some of my lettuce. I'm gonna use some of my cabbage, some of my carrots, and 2 cloves of garlic, and like a half of a small white onion for the filling of my dumpling. I already pre-made my dough, so that's already ready and it's resting. And so let's get to work. We're gonna chop this cabbage. I'm only gonna use maybe 1/3 of it and save the rest for another meal. My kids really love cabbage, especially like lightly sauteed to where it still has a good crunch, with a little bit of oil, olive oil, and garlic and salt and pepper, and they tear that up. So yeah, I'm gonna slice this up. I usually cut them into strips, and then since I started making dumplings from last year, I've been kind of putting them after the strips, like cutting them into little pieces, because it's easier to stuff the dumpling with it. It's hard when the cabbage is like long, and then you gotta like stuff the cabbage in as you're making the pleats. I also whole carrots or baby carrots, but y'all see that 99 cents on there, so I was like, oh yeah, that's a steal, because I had already had 2 whole carrots in my buggy. But when I seen that, I was like, okay, let's put these back and let's do this. So my bowl is clean. It's just stained from when I made something. I just lightly salt the water that I'm gonna put my veggies in to help like scrub it, to clean it, because you should be cleaning all your vegetables that you get from the produce, even if it says it on the bag that it's already been washed 3 times. That is not always the case. I remember one time I went to Kroger and I had got a big old box of washed mixed greens, and on the box it said, we washed this 3 times so you didn't have to. Man, I went to go make me a salad one day, and it was bugs all in them leaves. And this is the crazy part. Some of them were still alive. I was so mad and so livid about that. I refused to buy boxed or bagged salad mixes ever again. Even if yeah, it just don't matter. I'd rather just get the head of lettuce of what kind, or mixed greens, and rinse them off myself. But it was crazy, because usually they be clean. I've been eating them, but man, things been crazy in the grocery store, as we all know. these past couple of years. But anyways, I love when the video can fast forward like this. It's so satisfying to look at. And the rate it's going, that's how I feel like when I'm in the kitchen, especially when you're cooking from scratch, because there's always little pieces to the puzzle that, it's not like you just shake the seasoning in there. I added garlic to this, but I didn't mean to, but it's not gonna hurt it because at the end of the day it's still going into the whole mixture. This pork that I'm cutting up now is not for the dumplings, it was for my fried rice. So I only had 2 garlic cloves, so I used like 2 more teaspoons of minced garlic. I added in like a squirt of gochujang, which is the Asian chili pepper, and I added in a teaspoon of fish sauce along with a little bit of salt and pepper. And then I would say maybe 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. And as you see, I let that cook in with the meat. And then I add in my veggies. And I do not like to cook my veggies to where they're super, super soft because, once again, my kids don't like their cabbage to be soft and mushy. So, man, let me tell you something. That was one perfect circle. That was one perfect circle. Like, I don't even know. Like, I did start off by using a glass to get it into a circle shape and then roll it out. But then I got tired of doing that because, I need to get like a cookie cutter or a dumpling cutter because I sure make them. And I'm telling you, making dumplings is a labor of love. And this is like my 4th time making them. And when I tell you, it gets better with time when it comes to folding and pleating. This is the easiest one. And I watched so many videos on how to do it. And I was just like, man, they just make it look so simple and easy. But it was not like that for me. So I realized why. One, either my dough wasn't rested enough, so it was still just stretching super thin, like watery thin. And 2, my mixture, my dumpling mixture was too wet. Like, all of the excess moisture that comes out of the pan from your filling, you just got to be aware of that. So I wouldn't say dump it because I don't like to, waste anything really. So I keep mine in there, but I make sure that when I get it on the spoon, that it's relatively dry, like it's just the mixture. So that it'll be easier to fold it and pleat it. I'm not gonna lie, this dough that I made is like the best dumpling dough that I have made thus far. And I always try to keep it safe and not make too much dough in case it's not exactly how I would want it to be. But this time I wish I had made more. I only did 2 cups of flour, and we'll count at the end how many dumplings I end up having. So yeah, it's busy in the kitchen today. I have a pot on in the back of pho that's cooking up. And, well, no, it's done now. It's just warming and simmering because I put the smaller pot on for the noodles for the pho, which that means that dinner is almost done, because the hardest part about making the dumplings is making the dumplings. And then once you make them, yeah, frying them is nothing. And now that I'm thinking about it, one day when I feel like I have just too much time on my hand, I'm just going to go on a dumpling making spree. And I'm just going to make about 50 to 100 dumplings. And I'm not going to fry them. I'm going to freeze them. How smart is that? The more you know. Yeah, because, I mean, the process of making them is very relaxing. I just put on me a K-drama or something on YouTube on the projector in my background, and I just go to town. It's relaxing for me to sit there and pleat and see them all pretty. Y'all see them in the back. They lining up like little soldiers, getting ready to get fried. And then in another pan on the stove, I have my beef for the pho soup simmering over there, cooking up. I just threw a little bit of garlic and salt and pepper. I didn't do nothing special. Oh no, it wasn't garlic, it was green onions. I put some green onions in there, salt and pepper. And this was my first time with the beef for the soup that I sliced it while it was halfway frozen. And I don't know what it did to the cook up, but honey, that beef was so good. It was so good. But yeah, when I cook like this, it lasts a good 2 days. And I always end up making way too much filling because I didn't really put it down to a recipe science. I just guesstimate. I used approximately maybe 30, about 30 carrots, pieces of the small already cut carrots, and chop them up finely, and possibly a third of the cabbage head, and then a pound of meat, a pound of pork. And like I said, I do not eat pork like that. Like, it be hurting my soul to grab that pork, but it's so inexpensive. And I have 2 teens, and my son, he can eat. Actually, we all can eat. We skinny, but we all can eat. We love to eat. Like the Bible even says, to eat and drink and be merry in that way. Hunter, leave my plant alone. Get down, Hunter. He's not bad. He's good. He's a good kitty. We got a reverse psychology on him. I got my propagation station full of things. I got tomatoes that already done started to sprout in it, and then I'm trying to master the green onions. Like when I planted them outside last year, all I got was a couple of little stringy strings, and yeah, it could have been due to the sun or it was too warm. I don't know. I gotta try again. And then I know that you can regrow them from the bulb and water. So I started putting them in the water, but some of them would get too soggy, and then I just had to throw it away. And then some of them would grow, but it wouldn't grow very high. And by the time I needed to use it, it's like, I don't know, starting over from scratch. But I do have a small bunch that I put into some soil, and they're growing. Like they're long enough. It would break my heart to chop them off now, but I don't really need any right now, so I'm gonna just continue to let them grow. And from the last few batches of green onions that I I went ahead and put them also in soil. So hopefully by the time I use the ones that are ready, those are, end up growing how they should grow. But anyway, so yeah, y'all see how I'm moving around. I with making these dumplings in the pho soup. I'm not gonna lie, when I tried that filling, I was like 10 out of 10. These are the best. And then when I did get to sit down and eat, whoo child, them dumplings was so good. I still got some in the refrigerator. I might go get some now. But I'm gonna let y'all see the soup. I gotta strain the soup and it'll come out clearer, but it'll still have that like deep amberish color to it. And then this is my beef for the pho to go inside the soup. And it's almost done. So once that's done, then we'll be able to start the noodles because they don't take long to cook. And then we can eat. Yes, this is the finished result. And I did end up making a part 2 to this video because usually I have a lot on my mind and things to say, but this time I didn't. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching.